This is Jim Calloway with the Oklahoma Bar Association Management Assistance Program, and this is our video tutorial on how to use OBA Communities. I am sharing my screen with you now, so you will be able to see the bar's webpage. And right now, we have this hotspots on the webpage to let you quickly connect to things. But if you go to the main bar website, there's also a link for Fastcase and Communities. In fact, here we see Fastcase and Communities link, pretty much the same thing, but we're trying to help you move even faster through this. So I click on MyOKBar Communities and I get this login screen. For those of you who are sophisticated internet users or want to do it this way, this is the site you could bookmark, ams.okbar.org. It's a secure site, so you'll copy that out of the browser. But this is the one you could bookmark if you want to avoid the web page and go directly to the communities feature and the new MyOKBar. As we log in here, we now see the basic function of the new MyOKBar. I'm going to give you a little bit better look here. This is our profile. This is our new membership database, and this is your dashboard after you have logged in within the different settings. Like I said, this is your dashboard, and it has all your material. You see, one thing you want to know is you can customize these. You can put a little biography, as I've done here, and that is done to this. You can change your date. Your date is already filled in from the database, but if you click this little thing, it looks like a pen. It gives you the way to edit this information. See here? And the same way, if you want to edit your bio, you can do it that way. I would encourage everybody to sign up for this, do a little customization, but to upload a photograph. As you'll see when we go through the other parts of the community, having a photograph is really a big part of your interaction, and lets people identify you. And now you're going to get to have your photograph in the bar database. I know sometimes we have court appearances with lawyers who we haven't met before, so it's going to be real handy for you. We have decided to pass a policy, and you will sign on to the policy when you log into the communities that says basically this needs to be a photograph of you. We don't want icons or funny things or whatever, because we want this to be a business tool. So again, we're here on going back to my profile. If you'll scroll down a little bit, we have in red the three primary things that many of you will be wanting to use this time of year. We just got out of the CLE season when a lot of people are interested in CLE and MCLE. So we have Fastcase. This is the link to Fastcase. Hein Online. This is where you now find every previous copy of the Oklahoma Bar Journal provided by Hein Online as a member benefit for free. And then we have the MyOKBar Communities. So before we go to communities, I thought I'd go ahead and show us the most active feature that we have here, and that is our member directory. And so if I was to type in a name, for example, Jackson, there's a good one. And then here are all the different lawyers named Jackson in the Bar Association. See here. And then you can click on any of the profiles to find everybody with this name. So we're going to do another search here in our member directory. Back to search. And there is Darla Jackson's profile, who's with us on the call, our practice management advisor from the Oklahoma Bar. Those of you who are just logging in, I have you muted right now, but I will be opening this for questions a little bit later. So now is what you see in the member database. Think about this. You've always wanted to have a place where you could have your bio online, and here's one that is available just for Oklahoma Bar members. You have your bar numbers available. Your contact information is available, but this is the database that people will see on you. And again, we feel like the picture is really important. I click back on my profile. And by the way, the home button takes you back to the main MyOKBar webpage. So you want to click on my profile to get back here. So let's now go into the My Communities button here. And this will open up the site for all of the different communities that are available. This looks a little different than OBAnet, but there are several areas that we think are really interesting. So you'll see that just recently, Tim Larson, just an hour ago, posted something in the taxation law section, and then the law office management and technology section, you're seeing a discussion of Wi-Fi. I'll show you how this works a little bit more, but let's run across the tabs real quick just to see what we have here. You can look at all communities, including ones you're not a part of, like a committee you're not a member of, although you can't see any of their information through this tab. And then the My Communities get you there. The directory, you can also search within the, this is a little duplicate of the other search I showed you, but you can search in here. And here you'll find people who, you can do a mediator search, which is something new we've added, but you can also find people who are in the directory here as long as they're a member of a section, a committee, or a forum. We'll talk about those in just a second. Events for your various organizations and documents with them, your sub-organizations. You can browse through library posts, library entries and discussion posts. You can participate by discussing a message or sharing a file. This is your link back to MyOKBar. So hopefully that is pretty simple. So let's go back to communities. And we'll just look at My Communities right now, so you can see. Now, I'm right now a member of all the sections and of these several other communities. But it's probably a good time now to discuss our three types of communities we have here. We have sections, which are also referred to sometimes as chapters. That was a part of the programming that we just couldn't get behind us, if you will, and we just had to leave it that way. So if you see the words chapters, that's the same thing as a section. We also have bar committees. If you're a member of a bar committee, you've been appointed by the president, then we're going to have a separate section. This is really part of the powerful things that we have here with this new communities situation, because we have you can keep your section minute, your committee minutes, your committee notices, documents at a committee meeting, a PowerPoint that was given at the committee meeting. You can file all these online in the library area, and then when somebody new joins the committee, they can look back at the old material to get up to speed. So committees and sections are automatically populated with all of the members by the software, so you don't have to do anything to receive that information. Then we have forums. Forums are something that you participate in voluntarily. So you actually have to join a forum. And these are available to all Oklahoma Bar members. And what we've done on these forums a lot is to replicate some of the most popular areas on the OBAnet. So you see, even though there's been no posts, we've actually had 10 members have joined the humor forum, 17 the water cooler. That's something that a lot of people just kind of an open area to discuss anything. And then we're having our practice management advice forum where Darla and I are going to post our practice management tips. But then you see the committees and sections where we already have those fully populated. You can see here that there's 113 members in the alternative dispute resolution section, and somebody just paid their dues 13 hours ago. So they're now a member of that as well. So if I scroll down here a little bit, let's go back to all communities now, so I can see a list of them. I can show you how to join one. So we see basically the filing cabinet is one I hadn't joined yet because I was saving it for this discussion. But the filing cabinet is basically is the forum on OBAnet where you do briefs and files requests and that kind of thing. Again, just a general thing. We didn't want this great tool to be available only to members who were in a section or a committee. And so that's why we have these forums. So if I want to join the filing cabinet forum, I click here and it's already got my email address built in. and it says, please choose how you want to receive messages for this discussion. This is really critically important because you have three choices here, as you can see. You can get an email every time somebody posts something, where this will function essentially like a listserv. You can get the daily digest, which is our default and is probably going to be our most popular, where it accumulates every discussion and post that was done within a community, and then it emails you one email with all of them in it about midnight, I think. You can click on things in that email to reply to the discussions, and they'll get posted to the community even though you haven't logged in. You're just dealing with the email. And then some people don't want to be bothered, and they want to come to the communities when they're ready, and so they can say, I would like to opt out of discussions. This is not a complete opt out, because if you have a section officer who wants to give a meeting notice out, then they can give the meeting notice out to everybody in the section and let you receive it by email, which I think is really the appropriate way to do meeting notices. So again, this filing cabinet brief and forms request. I've now joined the community. Do I want to visit the community homepage now? Sure, we'll do that. So this is what one of these communities looks like. Again, this is the community with nothing in it. So it's not the perfect thing to show, but you see here the members in the community. There are going to be administrators attached to the community. And right now we have no discussion post and no shared files, but that's all going to be available to do a file library. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to unmute everybody right now for a minute just to make sure there's not any questions. Unmute everyone. Jeff, I see you got your microphone on. You got any questions?
I got here a little late, so I'm trying to catch up.
Okay. Well, again, this is going to be videotaped. This is being recorded now. We'll post it on the web if you want to catch the first part you missed. So, all right. Well, I just let's look at a community now that's a little bit more populated that'll make more sense. And so let's go to the home page, and let's look at this discussion in the Law Office Management and Technology section. Well, let me back up here a second. If you're a member of a bunch of entities, this may get a little bit confusing. If you're just a member of a few of them, if you look at these 3 or 4 messages here and you've seen the one at the bottom, then you don't have to log in any further. There's also this function to look at the messages in a little bit different way, where it displays more messages. This is for those of you who use the OBA net. This is probably a little bit more familiar look to you. The difference here is that these are all your messages in all of your communities. And so right now they're just sorted by chronologically by last post, but you could sort them by the community name if you want. So you can see, now you'll have all your law office management and tech meetings together. That would be a handy thing to do if you were working on committee business. You can sort them by the threads in alphabetical order, or the normal default is going to be last post, where you see the things that have just been posted recently. So all the forums, again, some of these are going, I'm going to go back now to all the communities. Some of these are going to replicate areas that are on the OBA net. We have no intention of shutting down the OBA net this calendar year, but the OBA net is a creaky platform that hasn't been updated in several years. And so ultimately, we're going to be using these tools in the future at some point, particularly because these have so many more functions. So we see all the different sections here. Again, you can join a committee and ask the president to appoint you. You can join a section by paying your bar dues and paying the section dues. If you've already paid your bar dues, I'm going to show you how to do that. Again, various sections here. Let me scroll on through and look a little bit more of these. And now we have proudly the Law Office Management and Technology section that we still don't have our description posted, but you'll see we've already had 28 messages posted, 129 members to this section. So you click here, and now we're in a community that has a little bit more heft to it, if you will. So you can add a discussion post here. You can upload a file here. Right now, we're not having any the files are we're not having any kind of wait for them to be approved by the moderator. If we get any infected files or something, we may have to re-examine that. And then again, when I click on that more button, though, I'm now going to look at all my messages and all my forums, even though I got to the more button from Law Office Management and Technology. We anticipate this will be one of our more active sections, and we're pretty excited about that. And I hope at the bottom here you see why it's important to have a profile page picture, because the picture you put in your profile will move right over here and be a part of your database. So we're going to click back now to MyOKBar. Here's the My Profile thing where we started. Again, for those of you that came in late, MyOKBar Communities is how we got there. Here's your link to Fastcase. Here's your link to Hein Online. You can get there from the front of the web page by clicking on Communities or whatever it might be. So I didn't want to make this too long. We're about at 15 minutes right now. I'm going to unmute it real quickly just to make sure that nobody has any further questions. But this is going to be a change for those of you who've been used to using the OBA net. But the idea of having an online filing cabinet for all of your section business, an online filing cabinet for all of your committee business, and then having these online forums that, unlike the OBA net, you don't have to remember a separate password for. We think this is going to be powerful tools. There'll be a learning curve. There'll be some getting used to. I assume we will have other video conferences. So without further ado, I'm going to turn my recording off. Thank those of you who are watching the recording. We'll stay live for those of you a few more seconds.